Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and in a pretty recent video we did, we put the original motherboard back into this Gateway 2000 P5-90 after sending it off to DOS-Dude1 for repairs. Now, I am lying a little bit there. This is not the original motherboard because when I attempted to fix it, I killed it because of my very inexperienced soldering skills. But DOS-Dude1, by some miracle, was able to find the exact same motherboard on eBay, even though I was unable to find it. And he put in a new Dallas clock chip, and the computer works beautifully now with the original board, the original model board, I should say. This computer, as you know, was built August of 1994, making it almost 24 years old. Now, we did a complete overview of this system, I believe, for this year's Easter video. But now that we've got the original board back in here, I want to do kind of an update video on how it's performing now, showing off some of the software that's in here now, since we've pretty much completely overhauled it since Easter. So, first things first, we've got a new CD-ROM drive in here, and if you recall in my video where I met up with YouTube user Elmo3 when he came down here to North Carolina, he brought this CD-ROM drive for me. The reason I got this CD-ROM drive from him was, well, I was the original owner of this. I bought it at Value Village years ago for a few dollars, and I stuck it into a Packard Bell Legend 3540, which I wound up selling to Elmo3. And then when I got this computer this year, I realized that the CD-ROM drive that was in my aunt's Gateway 2000 P5-100 XL, which I'm kind of trying to replicate in a way, had a CD-ROM drive that looked just like this one. So I paid Luke $10, and he drove down to North Carolina just to deliver me a CD-ROM drive. Nah, he was actually down here for a convention, and he just happened to bring this with him instead of shipping it, which was very nice of him. I greatly appreciate it, and it does work great. Other than that, on the front of the computer, everything else has pretty much stayed the same since you last saw it. I got some decorations on here. I've got my Gateway 2000 mug, and my boxed and sealed copy of Mixed Up Mother Goose Deluxe by Sierra. This was, as you know, the first computer game I ever played, and that was on my aunt's Gateway 2000, so I figured putting it on top of this Gateway 2000 would just be the proper thing to do. Alright, coming over here, we've got the Hansol 730 ED monitor, the CRT monitor. I actually got this new, believe it or not. This was sitting in its original box, never been removed from its box. It was sitting in its box at Goodwill this past spring, and I only paid $5 for it, and it works perfectly. It still has that new electronic smell to it. This monitor, I believe, was manufactured in May of 2003, making this 15 years old and a very late model CRT computer monitor. And it has a beautiful picture, as you'll see later. Also got the Altec Lansing AC-S5 computer speakers. I bought these at Goodwill this past spring as well, although at a different one in Winston-Salem. And I believe these are the original model speakers that would have come with this computer, if not a similar model. So it kind of adds to the original look there. Got a Microsoft mouse there. And this Isobar Command Console Plus. This is one of those really cool under-the-monitor surge protectors that people used with their computers back in the 90s. My aunt had one for her Gateway 2000 that was similar to this, and I believe she still has it with her Gateway 2000, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, what it intends to do is give you immediate access to the power controls for each peripheral you have connected to your computer, along with the computer itself, obviously. Like, you got a switch to turn on just the computer, switch to turn on just the monitor, switch to just turn on the printer, and two auxiliary ports here to control. Obviously, I have the computer connected here, monitor connected here, don't have a printer connected here. Right here is where I have the speakers connected, and right here is where I have my iOmega Zip 100 drive connected, which we took a look at in a video about a month and a half ago. So, yeah, and this works perfectly, by the way. I picked this up for $8 at a Value Village in Charlotte a few weeks ago when I went on that big thrifting run and brought home those 4 new computers, or 4 new old computers, I should say. And I've got a Gravis Blackhawk joystick, which I actually bought new back in the year 2000 at the Office Depot at Parkway Plaza in Winston-Salem. And it still works fine. It's a little bit flaky at times. The little grip piece on the top here broke off years ago, but it still works well enough to get the job done. So, I'm going to get the tripod set up, and we'll take a good look at this computer, how it stands now. Alright, ready to power it on. I'm going to power it on from the surge protector here using the master switch, which will turn everything on at once. So, here we go. It's been my dream since I was 5 years old to have a Gateway 2000 that looked just like my aunt's, and this year that dream finally came true. And as you can see, it's handling the new motherboard just fine. Its new clock chip. And as you may recall in the video where we put the new motherboard in, it turns out that the motherboard can support this hard drive that I got in here, but of course only with drive overlay software. I've got a 15 gigabyte hard drive in here. Only sees 8 gigabytes in it in the actual BIOS of the computer, but with drive overlay software, Easy Drive by Western Digital to be exact, the entire 15 gigabytes of the hard drive can be used on this computer just fine. So with that said, I've got a dual boot set up on here with MS-DOS and Windows for Workgroups 3.11 and good old-fashioned Windows 95. Now when I put this motherboard in here, the MS-DOS and Windows 3.1 install still booted up just fine, but the Windows 95 install, while it booted up, it was really not happy with all the new drivers, so I had to just completely format that partition and reinstall Windows 95. And the Windows 3.1 install worked just fine after the motherboard swap. That is until I decided to install Qim97, which is a conventional memory manager for DOS, and that wound up killing my Windows 3.1 install. So I had to reinstall that the other day, but it works just fine now. I even got Qim97 running on there now, and it gets along with Windows just fine. So we'll go ahead and go into Windows 3.1. We'll start off in MS-DOS first of all. And this is MS-DOS 6.22. Oh, I forgot to read off the specs of this computer for you guys. It's got a 90 megahertz Pentium, socket 5. It has 32 megabytes of RAM. Originally had 16, but I put 32 in there. And a 15 gig hard drive, as I mentioned a while ago. Alright, we're booted into DOS now, so let me bring the camera a little bit closer to the monitor so you can actually see everything. Okay, I want to show off a DOS game that I've actually never played before. We'll be playing it for the first time ever on this channel right now, and it currently lives on this nonchalant 1.44 meg floppy disk. which I will be inserting into the computer right now. And what is on this disc, you may ask? Well, a classic. Can't really see it right here, but what's on this disc is the original version of King's Quest I. Well, okay, maybe not the original version because this isn't the PC Junior version. This is King's Quest I from 1984, a game that predates his computer by 10 years. But I see no reason why it shouldn't work on here. And as far as the King's Quest series is concerned, I have enjoyed my fair share of King's Quest games over the years. I remember playing King's Quest 7 on my aunt's Gateway 2000 years and years ago. And to be honest, I think that's the only one I've ever played fully. And I actually have the CD version of King's Quest V, but I haven't had opportunity to really try it out yet. So we might do that in a separate video. So right now, let's check out the original King's Quest from 1984. Okay, KQ1. Cracked version. Please don't throw me in jail. I'm not in the mood for that. Okay, apparently it wants to use my joystick, so I don't know if it'll work on a joystick from the year 2000. Okay, it registered that. Okay, as you can see, it's actually the updated version from 1987. Ooh. Yeah, it's, I don't think the joystick's properly configured. So, let's see what this does. Yeah, this game's taking on a life of its own, it looks like. What in the world was that? Oh, Windows 10 wants to do yet another update, which Windows 10 is obsessed with. Yeah, this is where I believe it all started for Sierra Online. If it wasn't for this game, they probably would have been out of business way before they were able to do all this cool stuff. Okay, I think we got to put in a text command. What do you know, that worked. Is there a way we can speed this up? Oh, good grief. Okay, so apparently when you're playing a game from the 80s like this on a Pentium from the 90s and you set it to fast mode, the CPU just gets on a little bit of speed and it doesn't know what to do and you wind up killing yourself apparently. So let's take that back down to regular speed and try again. Okay. Yeah. Oh, what? I didn't even touch the water! Oh yeah. I forgot, these early Sierra games are not forgiving at all. So, even if you make the slightest wrong move, game over. So here we go. Try number 3. And don't even think about getting anywhere near that water. Okay. Open door. By the way, this computer has a really nice PC speaker. It can be heard from probably 20 miles away. Yeah, I'm not sure if the monitor is properly centered or not. Yeah, this takes a while, but again, if you set it to fast mode, it will, I don't know how to explain what it did. Okay, talk to King, maybe? Okay, when you speak to King Edward, he sighs and says, I am an old man, I'm going to kick the bucket soon, you're not in my will, too bad, I wish you the best though, goodbye. No, that's not what it said. If you want to read what it said, go back and pause it. So, yeah. Obviously, we're not going to go through the whole game because I imagine this game will probably last a long time. Okay, back outside now. Let's see what's down here. Looks like confetti there. What's behind here? I guess nothing. Yeah, I'm just blindly playing this. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever played this game. But I understand it's one of the most classic DOS games ever. So I figured it's worth a try. And you would probably enjoy seeing me play it for the first time on video. I probably need to refer to a walkthrough. That's what I usually have to do with these adventure games. This game is older than me, actually, by, I believe, 5 years. This came out in '84, I came out in '89. Oh, that sounded kind of nasty. What's in this cabin? Okay, I guess we can't go in there. Yeah, this isn't very exciting, I don't think, but again, I've never played this, so I don't know what to do. So I guess we can go in here. Okay, well... Did I die? Yes, I died. Again. This is... I knew these old Sierra games from the 80s were not forgiving, but I didn't know they were this unforgiving. So yeah, this game does not play favorites. And unlike most games from the 80s, we can actually exit this game without having to reboot the computer. So, enough of that, let's go into Windows. Check our disk there. And this does have an Ethernet card in here, so it's trying to connect to my network. That's why it's taking a while. And this is a pretty fresh install of Windows for Workgroups. So let's go to our games here. And let's try... now I know we've played this before, but why not one more time? Freddy Fish, The Case of the Missing Kelp Seeds. And I do have a reason for playing this in this video. I remember playing this game on my aunt's Gateway 2000 back in 1995. Before I even had a computer of my own. Let's go into our Sierra folder here. Wait. That's not... I got... King's Quest calls me to get Sierra on the mind. Now we need Humongous Entertainment, and right here. Oh yeah, Humongous sure loved critiquing your CD-ROM drive speed. But I believe this is like a 12-speed CD-ROM drive, so it shouldn't have any trouble at all.
Thanks for getting the flowers, Sam.
Sure thing, Freddy.
They're wonderful. Gotta go, Sam.
Oh, bye, Freddy. Whoa!
The speakers are being overdriven a little bit. Probably need to go in and adjust the sound card settings. This is a Sound Blaster 16, by the way. Vibra model. Yes, I know it's not the best one out there, but it works just fine for me, and I like it. Hey, Putt-Putt. Oh, wait.
Hi, Jason. Want a flower? Sure. Wow. Thank you. Where are you going, Freddy? I'm bringing flowers to Grandma.
It took me a long time to realize that Freddy Fish is a
Stay out
girl.
of trouble.
I thought it was just a high-pitched boy.
Bye. Bye. Hi, Grandma Grouper. Here's a flower for you. Thank you, Freddy. What's wrong, Grandma Grouper?
Someone took my treasure chest.
Grandma, your treasure chest that holds all the kelp seeds.
Yes, Freddy. Look at the garden. It's dying.
And right there was a representation of my love life.
Chest, we have no food.
I'll find your treasure chest, Grandma Grouper.
Oh, thank you, Freddy. Here's my last peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich for your journey.
going on a potentially
Good luck,
dangerous and
Freddy.
deadly journey, and all you give me is a little sandwich? Oh, well, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Luther. What are you doing? I'm trying to swim a loop-de-loop. Ow! Hey, Freddy, bet you can't swim a loop-de-loop. It's easy. Wow! Let me try again. Ow! Look, Luther, a bottle. And there's a note inside. It says to find Grandma Grouper's treasure chest, go to the volcano. I'm gonna be rich when I find that treasure. We need to find Grandma Grouper's treasure chest because that's where the kelp seeds are. If we don't find them soon, all the fish are going to die.
That's a little extreme, don't you think? I don't think one little elderly fish holds the entire key to undersea survival.
We found the purple sea urchin.
Hey, it's just a game. And this is a game that does bring back a lot of memories.
Gabby, Mommy's coming.
And unlike King's Quest, you don't get devoured by crocodiles in this game. I used to laugh at this scene so much as a kid.
Oh! Oh! I'm giving it all I got, Captain!
Sorry, Luther.
Don't
Eh, she's not really sorry.
Gabby, my little guppy is stuck inside that cave.
The
But I
cave!
can't fit inside. Could you please find him?
Do we have to do everything in this ocean?
Yes, Mrs. Halibut. We'll help Gabby.
Let's take a look inside.
Freddy! Luther! I'm stuck under this rock! Please help me! I'm stuck. What are we going to do? Don't worry, Gabby. We just need to find a bigger board to pry the rock off your fin. What a beautiful shell!
I've seen better.
Did you find my guppy?
Gabby's stuck, but is okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's a wooden board.
Alright, and we can use this wooden board for illegal purposes. Or we can free this purple fish.
I'm still stuck. Please help me. Luther, come help.
Hello, welcome to Splinter City.
Yay! Mommy!
Gabby, my guppy. Thank you both.
You're welcome, Mrs. Halibut.
Please take this purple sea urchin for saving my Gabby.
And by the way, you can
Thanks,
complete this
Mrs.
game
Halibut.
without saving him. But I always do it anyway
Luther,
because
we still
that's
need
what
to
I've done
find
since I
Grandma
was
Grouper's
5.
Kelp treasure.
And again, we're not going to go through the whole game, or this video will go way too long. Okay, now I think we'll play one more game. How about that? Once the CD-ROM decides to eject, there we go. We're going to play, well, possibly one of the greatest computer games ever conceived. A game I've loved since I was 6 years old, and I always will love it. A little game called The Incredible Machine. This is a game that we used to play on my Aunt's Gateway 2000, but most of the time I played it on the home computer, the Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT. Two computers that defined my childhood. So this time we can go to the Sierra directory and load up The Incredible Machine. Of course, I usually play this in Windows 95, but it runs in 3.1 just fine.
Phew! Sierra!
You know, we could sure use a little light in here.
This is one of those games that uses CD audio.
Ah, that's much better. Hi, I'm Professor Tim. Welcome to The Incredible Machine.
Okay. Name in there. And let's dive straight into puzzle play.
Knock the 8-ball off the screen.
Don't tell me what to do. And if you've never seen this game before, all you pretty much have to do is you're given these incomplete Rube Goldberg devices, and you've got to fill in the missing parts and see if it works or not. And in this case, we had to put this bouncy ball under this 8-ball so we can knock it off the screen. It's a very genius game.
Phew!
Put both bowling balls into the large column box in the center.
This past Christmas, we had family down, and a cousin of mine who was pretty young, he's into a lot of the same stuff I am, which is really cool. But anyway, I sat him down in front of my Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT because he's really into old computer games and old video games, which is really nice. And he played The Incredible Machine, and he just fell in love with this game. He was just so fascinated by it. You could not get him away from this game. And it just goes to show you just how timeless this stuff really is.
Phew!
So yes, there is hope for the new generation.
Get all of the basketballs into the piped area.
And yes, this is the same cousin who I gave the Dell Latitude C600 to for his birthday back in May. Now, one thing I've always loved about this game is the music. Especially this one track right here, New Age. Alright, enough of that. Yeah, this one's a little bit more complicated. Put these gears into the right order, and in a way kind of duplicate what's on that side of the screen. Okay, wrong direction there. Maybe this will do it. Nope. I'm usually not this horrible at this game, but it's been a while since I played it. Okay, come on, come on. I'm really not this dumb, guys. Okay, how do we get this to go the other direction? Okay, how many is that? 1, 2, 3. my favorite part of this song, by the way. There we go, I hope. Okay, it had a little too much Okay, I don't think that's exactly right, but it got the job done.
Put the 3 bowling balls into the wicker baskets.
Okay, when it comes to music in this game, the one you're about to hear is my favorite. This is one I obsessed over as a child. Probably a little too much. A little ditty known as Hayseed.
Oh, yeah. This little incredible machine. Hold down. Say, has anybody seen my dog?
I love how these games just did not take themselves seriously. It's something I kind of miss in current computer games.
You know, if you all can solve this puzzle, maybe you can come out in the front yard and help me get my truck started.
Phew!
That's my favorite part of the song.
Oh, don't drop a hog in the parts bin. You'll be forever trying to find it.
I read that the guy who sings this song, when they recorded this song for the game, he mostly just ad-libbed this whole song, which is really, really cool.
I just love watching. Start both of the electric mixers.
Back to New Age again. Okay, this one's pretty simple. All we have to do is just set these mixers up.
Phew!
Put both bowling balls between the logs.
Like a log.
Oh, yeah. This little incredible machine.
Okay, I guess this is how you do it.
Phew!
Yes.
Turn on all the lights.
Alright, we'll do one more. And we'll call it a day for the Incredible Machine. I believe this is it.
Phew! Phew!
Okay, there we go. And that's the Incredible Machine. Yes, I know oh gosh, I just had a bunch of VHS tapes fall on my leg. That's not nice. Okay. And that's enough of the games for the day. And I don't think we'll check out Windows 95 tonight, because we've spent enough time in Dawson Windows 3.1 to make long enough of a video. So we can do a MIDI test. This is the Sound Blaster 16, so it's just plain old FM synthesis, which nothing wrong with that. Well, I have a lot of backed up autoexec.bats. So yeah, go to my MIDI folder. Find one that won't get me copyright striked. I had someone mention this to me, that of actual songs, like popular songs that are copyrighted, that the MIDI versions will sound different enough that I won't get content ID'd or copyright striked. Well, I've seen it happen before where the MIDI files will be similar enough to the real song that you'll wind up getting content ID'd or copyright striked anyway, so it's really not worth the risk. Let's find one that'll be safe to play. Okay, let's try this one out. It sounds pretty good to me. And just as proof that we got a functioning Dallas clock chip in here, that's the proper date and time that this video is being recorded. So yeah, again, DOSDude1, thank you so much for this repair. You rescued a rare vintage computer, and I owe you big time. And yes, I did pay him. So don't worry about that. So, I guess that's about all there is to see tonight. Okay, I certainly hope you enjoyed this video. I am really impressed with this computer. It's a great little early to mid 90s multimedia system. And if you can ever come across a early to mid 90s Gateway 2000, by all means go ahead and grab one, because these are definitely some of the best computers from that era. They're definitely good workhorses. Just beware though that some of these have Dallas clock chips like this one, and if it's dead, which it probably is, it'll probably be a pain to restore and get going. So, I guess for now, this is Billy Core signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like. The link to all of these are down below. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.